All right, so next one. I didn't think I was ever gonna discuss this one, but here we are. I've become a fan of like trying to grab that low-hanging fruit lately. So the next one I want to discuss is a certain Nina Drama.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now, for those of you who are unaware of this woman, and most of you I imagine will be, she's like a, I don't want to call her an MMA journalist. Is that accurate? Is it accurate to call her that?
No, she's not.
No.
I wouldn't say
Let's
that.
just say she's like a prominent part of MMA media.
Yeah.
I think calling her a journalist is a bit stupid and inaccurate. Now the thing is, this woman seemed to receive insider status almost seemingly overnight with her provocative and unique interviewing style. I think that's what we can call it.
Yeah.
Now, to call this woman divisive, I think is an understatement. She has a large section of the MMA fandom that find her quirky, funny style of interviewing to be refreshing and interesting. Let's not forget such segments as getting fighters to rate each other, which I actually think is quite amusing. I quite enjoy that one. There was another segment I saw recently where she was asking fighters if they put their milk or cereal first, which was another equally random fucking bullshit that I don't know what that has to do with anything. Now, part of what makes me think her popularity has grown to such an extent is because the majority of these dudes, and hopefully women, I don't know why that's important to me, probably want to tap that. And frankly, I can relate. You know, she is quite jarring, but she is a smoke show. We'll give her that. Now, adversely, there is an equally sized and if not louder section of the fan base that treat this woman like she's an oxygen bandit. And also somebody that, by the way, takes credibility away from women MMA that have worked seemingly harder to forge a path in a male-dominated industry. So, do you think this hate towards this untalented bimbo is justified? Or do you think she's great for this space?
Oh man. It's funny because me and CJ actually had a conversation about her, and she actually surprised me because she said that she liked her. She said she's weird, she's quirky, you know, all those things, but what she does is she brings out a different side of fighters when she's talking to them. They almost have no choice but to be a little different when they talk to her. And so I do like that. And she's definitely not a journalist. She's kind of a satirical type of person. She doesn't necessarily have any opinions, you know, that are like super valid for anything that we would discuss. But what she does do is give us, she's kind of like a mascot. That's what she is. She's a mascot. She's a UFC mascot, and she's paraded around.
I've never wanted to bang a mascot before.
It's different. See, the UFC is always doing something different, and this is their mascot. Dude, there's a reason that she is the person that they really march in front of this power slap thing. Like, there's a reason for that. Like,
I didn't know she was involved in that.
Bro, dude, she's all over it. All over it.
It makes sense though.
But I mean, that's actually smart marketing by them, using her as the catalyst to try to drive people to it. But I personally don't have a problem with her. Now, if we were to ask her a serious MMA question that she, you know, give us an answer to, I would take that with a grain of salt in certain instances because she has her biases. And they're very, very strong and very pronounced when it comes to people like Sean Strickland. Like, we know, no matter who he's fighting, she's rolling with Sean. They were apparently,
there's apparently rumors that they were doing a thing to them.
I mean, it looked like it. I can't say it didn't look like it, but you know, they could just be friends. I don't know.
Unsubstantiated rumors. I wasn't there.
I don't know.
That's my go-to line. That's my go-to line of this show. I wasn't there though. I was like, I heard. This is what I heard.
But I do like Nina. Some of her stuff is too weird for me, but like I do like her, and she keeps things oddly entertaining. She's almost like she reminds me of Adult Swim. Like some of the little segments that she puts on, it's very Adult Swim like. But I like her, man. She's cool. Just take it with a grain of salt, man. Don't ask her about setups and sweeps, and don't ask her about all that stuff. But personalities, yeah, she's got that.
Yeah. I'll be honest, like, I mean, it's probably obvious from the intro I just gave. Like, I used to really, really dislike this woman, despite thinking she's really hot, it's very confusing for me, mate. I'll be honest. Do you know what I mean? It's like, the wiring of it doesn't really feel good to me. It's very confusing physiologically for me to feel that way. It's like she's really jarring, but she's really hot. It's like, oh, what do I do? You know, it's a real tough thing to juggle internally. Part of the reason why I didn't like her was kind of a weird one. This might sound a little bit strange to say, but it kind of felt like she was a little bit like a plant. You know, like that Bobby, what's her name? You know, that humorless twat that interviewed Drake.
Oh, dang, what was her last name?
Antarov, Bobby Antarov.
It's something like that. I know it starts with an A.
Some shit like that.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
You know, like how she kind of like appeared out of nowhere. And then like she had like, so yeah, I kind of saw Nina in the same way, you know, like it's like you pointed out, total lack of MMA knowledge, kind of rubbed me up the wrong way. It just felt like she was somebody who was interviewing and involved with these people, and she didn't even really know who she was interviewing most of the time or understand things. So yeah, I used to think she was like randomly stupid, and I especially hated like the over spamming of her. Like, you know, when she'd have like, this insert fighter was not prepared for what I was going to ask. It was all like this clickbaity fucking nonsense of this MMA fight. I can't believe what I asked him. And it was usually some inane bullshit like I said, do you put your cereal or your milk first? Like, yeah. So it's just to kind of claim, you know, to, like I said, it was just a seemingly stream of pointless cringe questions. But to be honest, for the reasons that you said, I've kind of changed my tune about her to an extent. Like, do I think like her questions are fucking stupid? Unquestionably. But from what I've seen of her lately, she does seem to know more about the topic she's talking about lately. But more importantly, like, as you pointed out, as dumb and inane as her questions often are, they do allow us to see fighters within a context that we normally don't get to see. And I do think that's really a good thing. I do think she's a cringy, annoying windbag, but like ultimately we get to know more about fighters in a different way, and I think that's great for building personalities and helping fighters to engage more, especially with new and old fans. And like I think that's great because she's attracting people that would have no interest in MMA whatsoever. And I think anything that pulls people into the sport is great. I don't watch her stuff really, but I can appreciate that she has value. And I think she does get a level of hate from fans that is borderline going too far at times. And I'll also point out that the way my balls feel is far more important than how my brain feels. So yeah. I'm gonna leave it at that. My nuts take priority over how I feel, my feelings. So
yeah, no, that's
I'm gonna applaud
important.
her for that.
It's an important thing to really think about is how your nuts feel. It's pretty important.
100%.
But I do think that she's good for the UFC. She's a good mascot and a good cheerleader for. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way, women, but like anybody can be a cheerleader, and she just happens to be female and an attractive cheerleader. So it works.
Yeah, I'm all right with it. I don't mind a little bit of eye candy, and I'm just going to see it the way that it is. And like I said, if you don't want to watch her content, you don't have to. Like, once you've seen it the first time, you kind of know what she's about, and you could, if you enjoy it, continue. If you don't, ignore it. You have that right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just keep the hate to a minimum.
For sure.
Because she seems like a nice person.
Yeah.
Bit of a bimbo, but the world needs bimbos. Like, I love bimbos.
Makes the world go round.
It does. Makes me happy.